Your stillness will be rewarded. Your stillness will be rewarded. And what is the reward? The reward is the removal of karma. The burning through karma, like I say. Burning through. So I've done the last couple of videos. Your faith will be rewarded. Your patience will be rewarded. And in this video, your stillness will be rewarded. In the faith one, the faith will be rewarded. I talked about stillness and devotion. That was more of like, what's the core teaching and how does devotion and stillness and faith relate, and how is that the foundation of a spiritual teaching for me? And then the patience one was like its own thing. And then this is now its own thing. 3 videos on such and such will be rewarded. Your stillness will be rewarded. And what is the reward? So when I tell you guys that the prayer and the meditation, it's the most powerful, efficient, most potent way of accelerating your own growth, I really mean that. Like, and then when I'm talking about how a lot of the other stuff in the spiritual community is like weak shit and whatever, relatively, yeah, of course. The moment that you put intentionality behind your own stillness, I mean, you guys might think that you're like, I'm doing a guided meditation and shit. It's always going to be weaker than you sitting down on your own and doing it. You're like, well, it is me sitting down on my own and doing it. No, there's a different energy there. There's different energy there, man. You, on your own, sitting in your room by yourself, nothing's on, and you are praying or meditating in yourself, no one else to hold your hand, no one else to help you. That is so fucking powerful. I cannot express it to you. You don't need solfeggio frequencies on in the background. You don't need any of that shit, man. I'm telling you guys. It's like, because these other things that you're trying, that you think you're using to help you, you can build like a crutch. You're more likely to like start to need it or want it. I can't meditate unless I have this thing on in the background. Well, what happens when you're out in the woods and you feel like meditating? You're like, well, I won't feel like meditating. Well, there might be a time where you may need to. You need to be your own self-fucking master, man. You need to be your own self, whatever. Put down like the fucking training wheels and shit, man. Put it down. Do it yourself. It is more fulfilling, it is more rewarding, it is more potent, it is more powerful. Believe me. I've tried all that shit. Doesn't work. I mean, it works, but it doesn't work. And then the moment that I actually did it myself, in like no time, I was leaps and bounds further. And the next thing I know, I'm like, boom, I see. You guys are, like I've said this many times, you guys that are watching my videos are all relatively advanced. You're very fucking close. You are 2 months, 5 months away, a year, maybe max 2 years away from literally being it. You don't know how close you are. I'm telling you guys, you are very fucking close. You don't realize it. So, what does the stillness do? It's the point of this video. Talk about stillness all the time. I am emphasizing it here. I want you guys to really fucking grasp this. The stillness is everything. Everything. The stillness burns all that shit itself. You sitting in meditation for hours is dislodging and unraveling all of the layers of karma that are holding you bound within yourself. That is what does the work. The stillness. You doing mantras. You doing any other shit. Anyone placing hands on you, Reiki shit, sending you vibes, sending you energy, that does nothing comparatively to your own stillness. Because you become familiar with your own stillness. It makes sense to you and it makes things known to you. It dislodges, it pops wherever you're at on your path. It pops up what needs to be looked at perfectly every time. And if nothing pops up, just stay in stillness. You're like, I don't get it, man. Like, I'm sitting in stillness, I'm meditating, nothing's happening. I don't know what. Trust me, you're not gonna recognize all of you cannot. There are some things you just are not gonna know. So I keep telling you guys, you need to be okay with not knowing. Your mind is what has this compulsive need to want to know. You realizing yourself is already known to God, whether you're gonna do it or not. It's now you just have to like actually walk the walk of it. That's what devotion is. It's like walking the walk of it, showing like, hey man, okay, I'm trying now. Okay, well here's your reward. Days and months of meditation and prayer. Looking at parts of yourself, like I say, right? That's what the shadow work is. Looking at parts of yourself. Well, you think like, let's say somebody goes to therapy and you're going to do like cognitive behavioral therapy. You're like, what are you telling me, Darius? That's weak shit. Yeah, comparatively. That person that's doing cognitive behavioral therapy would be better served in that same amount of time that they're doing that therapy session, doing meditation and prayer. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You think that you're going to rationalize your way and make sense of like, but you're not actually addressing any of the root symptomatic stuff that's going to actually dislodge any of that blockage in you. People think that the chakras and all this stuff and like energetically what's going on and like you're going to meditate, and project energy into chakras and like dantians and acupuncture and all that, whatever. Yeah, that stuff will work. If you do it for years and years and years, if you like have a whole regimen of all these different things and God's gonna sooner or later reward you. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm talking about the people that are just starting to see what they need to do. Because this is what happens. You've read some books, okay, you're like, okay, spiritual path, okay, this kind of makes sense. You watch some videos, okay, yeah, okay, it's on the periphery, okay. Most of the people that are reading the self-help books and shit, they're not actually doing any of the real practice. So the next step is getting you to sit down and actually do the practice of it. So I'm telling you guys, I've referenced this many times, where Yogananda, I was like, bro, no, you're too fucking hardcore. I am not going to sit in meditation, bro. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. I got other shit to do. Let me go watch some more Eckhart Tolle videos and like, let me go, read some. No, man. That shit is like secondary. All of that's because why? Because why? Because the very stuff that you think you're learning in any spiritual person's video, they're telling you information. Even me, I'm telling you all this information. You sitting down in stillness, these things that I'm telling you become automatically known to you on your own. You wouldn't even need Darius putting words to these things, because you yourself are going to put words to them for yourself. And it's going to make better sense to you personally how it comes in and when it comes in for you. And that stillness is unmasking all of those aspects for you. It's burning the karma. So, life's not fair. I've done a video, life's not fair, karma and justice, okay? And you think that like you got the shit end of the stick. You think that all of this life stuff that happened, oh no, woe is me, all this shit, right? Okay. Energetically, you're going through some stuff, trauma and pain and suffering, okay? It you react to it, it reacts to you, it creates this whole condition, this whole situation, and then now you store that energy in you, okay? And then your mind locks in a certain way of seeing something, your lens, and then now energetically, physically, and mentally you're projecting yourself, you're like course correcting and redirecting yourself through traumas in your past. For you to dislodge all those energies, which is what this therapy that you're sitting in and psychoanalyzing yourself is trying to do, inefficiently, I might add. What it's trying to do is get you to recognize these patterns from your past and bring attention to them, okay? But the catharsis part, the letting go part, the feeling through it part, the dislodging of that karmic stuff, that gunk that is keeping you temporarily stuck, that happens through stillness, most powerfully. Now, why do I emphasize it so much, the stillness? Because you think I'm telling you, hey, just be still, and it's going to get you to this point. Well, that stillness, it becomes your way of life. Start becoming familiar with that which you're going to step onto, the path that is of the stillness path. What you sitting in meditation for hours and hours and hours is getting you ready for is to be the self-realized still one, embodied. Because you can sit in meditation, like I say, casually, 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day, and then you go about the rest of your life. You're like, oh, I'm just going to do a little mini reset. I'm going to do 15 minutes of meditation. Yeah, I temporarily feel so much better. No, the real change doesn't happen until you go deep, deep, deep into meditation. And you sit and bask in stillness. You bask in it. It overtakes you. It fills you. You expand into it. That's where the karmic burning is happening. Not casual 10-minute meditation, 30-minute meditation. And you don't need to like sit in like mantras and projecting om, and I'm focusing on all the light, the stillness. It cleanses everything on its own. The stillness is so fucking, I can't emphasize how powerful it is. I can't. It is literally God itself. It is literally you opening God in you. Imagine you're like this lost soul, this lost like, oh, I don't know what's happening. And then like God appears before you and now enters into you and from within purifies you. That's literally what is happening when you're sitting in stillness. That's how crazy this shit is. If everybody on this planet recognized how powerful it is and sat for hours a day meditating, we could have the new earth overnight. But nobody is actually going to sit down and do it. It's too boring, it's too woo-woo, it's too, yeah, whatever. You don't get it. I'm not trying to be like condescending and put you down, oh, you don't get it. I'm telling you guys, you have to almost experience it personally to recognize how powerful it is. Until you guys actually, a lot of you, when you guys actually sit down and like months go by and you're like, whoa, like I get what, you're going to get what Darius meant by all of this shit. You're going to get what I mean. It's going to come into your own personal reality. You're going to get it. Just like I got it when Yogananda's telling me to do it. Yeah. Like very trippy, hardcore shit. And now like, because like in the spiritual community, you've heard of certain aspects of spiritual path, and some people have powers and clairvoyance and psychic abilities, and you opening your third eye, and you like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could heal people and miracle, all of these things that open up to you, any clairvoyant, superpower, ESP abilities that you have, anything, okay? Anything, clairaudience, all that shit, they are byproducts of your internal ascension and growth and expansion, which happens out of stillness. So, the pineal gland meditation that you think you need to open your third eye, that shit's irrelevant. Your third eye will not open before it's ready to open. And some people are going to get an open third eye and they're not ready for it, and now they're mentally ill because they haven't grounded themselves in the stillness. So I'm telling you guys, All of this woo-woo shit in the spiritual community is dangerous sometimes because you're doing shit that is not correctly aligned. Stay in stillness, man. It's going to automatically align you. You're like, I want to open my third eye. Do you even know what happens when you open your third eye? How could you want something of which you don't know what it is? Well, I've heard all these things about what... You don't have the first fucking clue about what happens when you open your third eye, truly. Are you ready for that responsibility? Because it can haunt you, what you see. Are you ready for that? Do you even know what you're asking for? The way in which you see. I don't even need to open my third eye, man. I just use my two eyes. You know? It's like you think like this third eye, my crown chakra, crown's open. It's like, man, your crown was open already to begin with. Your crown was always open. You guys just didn't recognize that in your past when you were getting certain downloads and things were coming in. Your crown's always open, man. No one's crown is ever closed. Opening my crown, your third eye's always open, man. It's only the degree to which you recognize it for what it is. That's when people say I'm opening my, it is all it is bringing awareness to what the third eye actually has to hold for you. Any chakra. I'm telling you guys, the chakras are fundamentally illusory. They're not real like we think they are. It started becoming more and more common in the early 1900s with the Theosophical Society and some books they were putting out and pointing to this shit. And then in the 60s and 70s, the chakra started becoming more and more and more mainstream. And now it's like we've accepted it as like fully, like this is how it is. Yes, in as much as a human being might have energy portals and energies and things, yes. But it is always going to be false because it's layered on top of what your true isness is. Your truth of being is you're like literally a fucking light body. You're like white light. That's it. And the chakras are on top of that. Okay? Why could Jesus heal in a moment? Because he was going directly to your light. Same shit that I would do. That I can do. I don't use chakras. I don't use like Reiki weak shit. No. It is, and it's done. Yeah. Wow, you're so fucking arrogant, Darius. You think you can heal? Yeah. Everything that I am heals. Everything. The more you're aligned with light, you also are a healer. When you're hanging out with your friends and you guys are talking and like just being each other, you're healing each other. There's an energetic transference of energy. See, it's like the person that thinks that they're not healing, they cut themselves off and prevent themselves through belief of believing a possibility of something. I see light. So it's like, what is the third eye opening? What is chakra? What is karma? What is... There's levels to this shit. There's layers to this shit, man. I'm not saying that people that do Reiki are, full of shit they can't heal. What I'm saying is comparatively, how good a Reiki person's going to be is based on the person and their own ascension and where they're at. I'm sure there are true Reiki masters, but you think that you're going to go through a certification process that now says you're a Reiki master and you ain't even a master of your own shit, that you're a Reiki master. What are you, what the fuck are you pushing out if you haven't handled your own shit? What you're doing is you're projecting your own shit onto people. Yeah. Good luck healing people by you pushing your baggage onto them. Congratulations. Wow, that Reiki session I did didn't really work that great. Well, like, what's the source of the Reiki? Pranic healing, anything. It's only going to be as good and as pure and as powerful as the source of which it's coming from. And the more you align yourself with stillness and you place yourself literally on the platform of God, that's what flows through you now, and that's what heals. Someone breaks a bone, someone, tears their ACL, someone rips their Achilles, someone gets shot, someone has brain damage, anything. Any healing that they go through slowly over time, you think it's like your body healing you and these mechanisms, and it's like, oh, we know how much time it takes because we've studied these things scientifically, and a doctor comes in and he mends you. No, man. The true healing is happening from God, that is sustaining your body, that's giving life to it through breath and animating it. That's where healing happens. But it's too basic for people to think that that's what it is. No, we got to add on more layers of mind stuff and analyze what healing really looks like. No. Fundamental true healing is God energy. That's always the same way God keeps you walking around and doing anything, same thing that heals. So, your own healing for yourself with karma is purified through stillness. Now the question is, can you detach yourself from whatever it is that is going on in your life and sit down and do the work? And maybe not even look at it like work. Maybe look at it like exploring. Explore yourself. It doesn't have to be like when work has almost a negative connotation, right? Oh, work, I gotta work. I don't really want to work. Why do we all have to work? I don't like this job. Don't look at it like a job. Don't look at it like something. The stillness, the meditation, this work, the reward of which will be the most abundant, infinite being that you can be. That you don't fully grasp how fundamentally radical it's going to shift your entire reality. The expansion that you're going to step into. And all it is you coming to terms with it and really kind of, it's almost like submitting to God's will in a way. It's like all this if you're watching my videos, it's like God placed this message on your path, and it's like, hey man, you like Darius, his message vibes with you. He's like, hey man, take his suggestion, do it. Now, the only thing that's preventing you, it could very well be karma that is preventing you from sitting down and doing it, your own karma. The moment you bring realization and awareness into the whole thing of what's playing out, and then you literally dedicate time to going within, your entire reality cannot help but start shifting and improving from that very onset moment. It might take a little bit of time to catch up and show up in your reality physically, but energetically, it is shifting so much energy, you can't even be conscious of it all fully. It's impossible. No human can be while we're incarnated physically here, because we're so enmeshed in this physical reality. If you were simultaneously fully expanded while being physically here, it would be too much overload, man. Because you'd remember all your past lives and anything you've ever learned and all the different ancestors and what's real, what's not real. You'd start seeing ghosts and animations and lights, and you'd be in the weird fucking realm while you're here physically. It's almost like, the most extreme end of schizophrenia. And that obviously would be terrifying. That's why all these people that are schizophrenic are terrified a lot of the time, because I don't know what's real. It's not expanding into this place. Man, God is very smart in how he's designed us to be physically here. Trust that, man. Like, be okay with it. You don't have to open your third eye before it's ready, guys. You don't have to have anything that's in the spiritual community that they're telling you is, so this is how it is. I'm going to channel a message from the Pleiadians. Oh, really? You know, like, consider the source of where you're getting a message. Consider it. The Pleiadians, the Arcturians, like these random names they came up with. Well, they're galaxies and the stars, and naturally there's star beings up there that are speaking to us. Oh, okay. Okay. The Council of Light, the Ascended Masters. You don't even realize that you're already an Ascended Master waiting to be uncovered. You say the word Ascended Masters, and it naturally puts them above you, and I must worship them. They are greater than me. They're the fucking same as you, man. You're already it. You're a fucking Ascended Master. You don't even... Me telling you I have a message for you from the Ascended Masters is putting you down. I have a message for you. It's coming from the Pleiadians. Oh, really? Okay. What do the Pleiadians have to tell me? Well, they're here to tell you that they're you. You're a Pleiadian, man. You're a starseed. You're everything, man. Do not make yourself smaller than some bullshit. Do not. All of this woo-woo spiritual shit in the community, it is all wording and word choices of making these things that you think are like sources of information, or like how it should be, or like this certain meditation and this certain frequency and this certain anything, manifesting all of that shit's designed to make you feel like you're less than, and as if they're giving you information that's just so... No, man. You will know the message and messenger by their deeds and their words. I keep this very simple, man. I am very conscious in trying to create a message that does not have as much woo-woo shit in it. That is more, I guess, if you want to call it anything, traditional in a way. And that's fine. If you like all of those wordings and that shit vibes for you, go watch their videos, man. But I'm telling you, all of those wordings and all of that shit, it's all illusory. Even the shit I say is illusory, the wording, fundamentally. I'm telling you, you have to recognize the difference. You don't have to. When you become still, and after you've, stepped more and more into stillness, you will also see how radically nonsense this shit is. These word choices, these modern ones are. All of it. I'm spiritual. What the fuck does that even mean, I'm spiritual? Well, I am of the spirit. Like some people, they have such an affinity towards the word spirit now because God has this whole like weird religious connotation. You can't say God, I say spirit now. Okay, spirit, tell me what spirit. Same word, man. But you think that by you choosing that word spirit over and over again, or universe or source, then now like you're more spiritual. You're more evolved, aren't you? By choosing the... Do you see what I'm saying? It's like you guys could say the same thing about me. That I think I'm personally, my own little ego, thinks it's more personally evolved and better than, by not choosing those words. What I'm trying to get you guys to get, I don't think I'm better or worse, anything. I'm trying to get you guys to understand the illusory, fundamentally root illusory nature of all of this woo-woo shit. Going back to like telling you that you are literally light embodied. And like so many people put so much emphasis on the chakras, it's kind of bizarre to me. Like I get it, man. The chakras are real. You can use them as a tool, but they are not it. You want to go beyond the chakras? You want to go beyond any of this woo-woo spiritual shit that's out there on YouTube anywhere? Just stay in stillness, man. Just do that. It's a lot simpler too. And the reason why it's awesome and it works is that your prayer and meditation can be accessed literally anywhere you are. You don't need any piece of media with you, a phone or a computer to play anything to play music, or it's always accessible to you. That's why it's powerful. It never leaves you. You've been carrying it around with you all this time. You are it. And all the stillness is doing is further anchoring you and you're like hunkering down into it. Yeah, man. And then that same stillness that you've been burning karma and all these layers of energy that you're working through, that same stillness that now you've cultivated is that's also the reward, because it keeps opening. The more you step onto it, the more you recognize how potent it is and powerful it is, and that stillness is the reward, just like the faith and the devotion are the byproducts of which are also there. It's like they are their own aspect of goodness in a human being. And so in how you see and interact with people from moment to moment, you go to a party, you're walking out and about, you're at your home, and normally under previous circumstances you'd be anxious and you'd be worried and shit would be bothering you, and something is not coming fast enough, or I don't have enough this and I don't have enough that, and why isn't it looking, all of that weird shit that used to hound you. Now, because you're so still all the time, sure, it might occasionally want to try and come in, your mind wants to draw because it has an energy to it, that a momentum. Well, this time, because you're so still, you just see it. You're like, whoa. Before you couldn't see how it would. Now you're very aware of your mind. Now you're like, oh, I get what he means by it's like a tool that brings in some suggestions that you can kind of take it or leave it. Before, it would have taken you on a ride. Like I said, the devil wants to take you on a ride. The illusion wants to take you on a ride. So the stillness is basically severing the karma and like when I'm saying it, removing the muck, the carcass of this karmic shit, right? People think that there's good karma, bad karma. No. Good or bad is always going to be dual in a human mind. Karma is just karma. Karma is just truth, isness, of a reality, of a causation, of an isness. That's what's purified. That's what's purified. Adopt the stillness, man. Adopt it. Bring it in. Sit down. Explore yourself. Say, hey, right now I'm gonna try. I'm gonna like go deeper into it, and I don't need, any external shit. It's just me. Me and my own demons, me and my own thoughts, me and my own energy. And then eventually you expand into this place where it's like God and me and everything that is, and all of the stillness and everything underneath it that's animated by it. And you start making leaps and bounds in realization. And you're like, oh, and like the fucking veil's removed and you see through it, right? Like you're just there while still being physical here, grounded. And now what you're doing is just you're the light being that's anchoring in the energy, grounding in the highest energy there is, the most pure light there is, walking around in a body and interacting and blessing and gracing and loving and having fun and all the best shit that life has to offer. You can have that. But if you haven't worked through the karma, you're not going to go through the karma without actually dislodging and removing the karma. And the most easy, direct way of doing that is the stillness.